These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back from their How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I here recording Tuesday, February 20th. And we're talking about Kristaps Porzingis today, everybody's favorite big man in Boston. The 7'3" Latvian freak has been ridiculous for the Celtics this year. Nothing but happy, smiling at every turn, playing great basketball. And JJ Redick recently talked about it on, was this ESPN? He talked about it
First Take.
First Take. Brought it to the national scale. Do you want to watch the clip of him talking and then we can react to it?
Yeah, because I was about to search for the full quote, but I don't know where to look for it, so didn't want to mute my mic to type on this computer. So
let's take a peek.
Let's take a peek.
Thank you to 47 Cooked on Twitter for finding it and posting the full clip. You're a legend. Appreciate it.
And they were debating who is the team to beat in the Eastern Conference.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's see.
The reason I'm taking the Celtics, it's not because of Jason Tatum. It's not because of Jaylen Brown. If any,
I wonder what he's going to say.
Yeah, what the hell are we doing?
anyone knows me and has followed me over the last year and a half, it's not because of Derek White and my love for him. It's because of Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
This guy is a total difference maker for them. He has given them a new dynamic for their offense, and he's providing the same defense, essentially, that Rob Williams was giving them.
I feel like you listen
when you
to
look
the
at the Celtics and how they're playing right now, Stephen A. brought up the threes. And, you know, I promised Stephen A. on our production call this morning, I'd try to keep the data and the stats to a minimum. But I told you to bring. I got to drop this. I got to drop this. Joe Mazzulla at the beginning of the year, he talked about wanting to post up mismatches more with Tatum, Brown, Porzingis. Okay? Right now, the Celtics have essentially tripled their frequency in post-ups. They are hunting out mismatches. When we start talking about late-game stuff, Kristaps Porzingis unlocks their defense. You want to run an after-timeout play with 17 seconds to go, he unlocks what they can do on the offensive end. I said defense earlier, I'm sorry. What they can do on the offensive end. Kristaps Porzingis, we have 10 years of tracking data. He's having the most efficient season posting up the basketball in the last 10 years. That's over Jokic. That's over Embiid. And why is that? Because he's posting mismatches. You go down the list of his most frequent guys that are guarding him in the post, and it's all perimeter guys. When he rolls in a drop coverage, he's getting behind the defense. That two-man action with Jaylen Brown on the left side, Jaylen Brown going to his right hand, him getting behind the defense. It's great action for the Celtics. He has completely changed their team. So when we start talking about playoffs and matchups, it's Kristaps Porzingis. To me, he's the most important third.
Well, he is the most important third option because we've talked at length and nauseum this year about. I really feel like Porzingis might be the most important guy on the team, and you can see it. He's missed 14 games so far. I don't know what the record is off the top of my head, but they definitely don't look as consistent. They don't look as reliable. I don't trust them as much, and they look a lot like the teams that we've watched for years and years struggle at stupid things like closing games and just being overall more consistent. And when he's in the lineup, they've got that extra layer. It's something I wrote about for Celtics blog over the summer. It was like literally one of my first pieces for the site where I was like, could he be what Al Horford gave them for years and years? And I went in and I pulled up the post stuff, and his numbers were pretty good before he even got here. Now they're even using him in a more focused, condensed post-up role, like Redick says, where he's just posting up all these little guys, playing against plumbers out there, and he looks like it. He's been awesome, and he is the perfect late-game guy because defenses have to scramble when he touches the ball. It's not even about him driving or trying to create shots that way. It's literally, can he get a catch? Yes, you better send a double.
I mean, I said it before the season started when they added him. He completely changes the way they play offense. Like their offense is like worlds different from any other Celtics team we've watched in the last or the Tatum era, I guess, for the purpose of the argument. Like it's completely different. Also, for unfortunately, they technically are better with Porzingis, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's nonsense.
They're 12-3 without Porzingis. I feel like that's just a testament to how good the Celtics are as a whole, though, not like Porzingis' impact, because they're also like 31-9 with him. The Celtics are just a good basketball team, period. But Porzingis changes the way they play offense. His offensive numbers are insane, like JJ Redick was talking about, like the post ups. The fact that he's able to post up smaller players is a testament to how good of a job Brad Stevens did building this roster, because yes, you need an elite player to be able to take advantage of those things, but he wouldn't be able to do that in Washington or Dallas or all these places because the Celtics have 4 all-stars around him. They have guys who are able to, get other mismatches. Like every other possession, whether it's for Tatum or Porzingis, they are running a pick and roll, off ball screens, whatever it is, to get mismatches, because there's no other team around the league, or very few, I should say, that have 5 guys capable of guarding all 5 guys on the Celtics. So they can just switch until they get a matchup that works and then go. And then their offense has been the best offense technically in league history, quote unquote, because of it. Like that's the reason why it's the best offense in the league. And it's the best offense ever because offenses are getting better every year. And the Celtics have just happened to be the best this year. Well, not just happened, they've earned it, but Porzingis is a huge part of that. He's been amazing. I don't know if he necessarily gives him the same thing that Kristaps or Rob Williams did on defense. It's not the exact same. They play a very different style of defense. But Kristaps' impact defensively has been huge as well. I mean, he's been getting a ton of blocks this year. He does play the roamer role every once in a while, but a lot of the times he is, I guess maybe it's similar. He's just not as deep in the corner. He's more floating around the dunker spot, and then everyone's scrambling around him, so he doesn't have to move as much. He's kind of like Brook Lopez for the Celtics.
The NFL season is wrapping up, and there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Now, the app is so easy to use, and there are so many different ways to bet, like live same-game parlays, find bets in the new Explore tab, make a parlay in the Parlay Hub, the best way to find popular parlays, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Where he just kind of gets to chill.
Have fun. It's funny you mentioned that, because I was literally going to say, instead of being a roamer, he's like a tree. And that's always what I compare Brook Lopez to, because he just stands there with his hands up and he's in the way for everybody that drives on Milwaukee. So watching Porzingis play with the Celtics has been a very similar experience, and he's done a great job. He's averaging just under 2 blocks a game. He's made his presence known against opposing offenses, and that's really what you want out of him on defense. He doesn't have to fly around like he's Rob Williams, because he has the added size where it's just not as realistic to ask him to do that. It's kind of a lot, especially for somebody that's 7'3", to be flying around like a madman. I don't think he's capable of it. However, I may trust him from the free throw line catching the ball on offense more than anybody I've ever seen. Just, he turns around, puts his arm up like he's playing Nerf, and just flicks it home, and it feels like it's the easiest thing in the world for him. It feels unguardable at times. His rip through is elite, where he's doing the type of things where you see Embiid do it and get to the free throw line. Porzingis has been very efficient at getting himself to the line this year. I don't have the free throw stats in front of me, but I can tell you there have been numerous games where he gets up 7, 8, 9 attempts, and it's huge for his offensive production, and it's great for the team because they're getting those free looks at the line. And you're getting the opposing defense in foul trouble. Oftentimes, some of the guys that are maybe better perimeter offensive players that get switched on to him, and they may have to miss time. It just is a gift that keeps on giving for the Celtics, it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, I was just looking through it. Kristaps has missed a lot of these big games this year. Like, weirdly enough, he's only missed 15 games, which the injuries have been huge. But like the ones he's missed have been like pretty significant ones. Like he's missed, and they haven't like lost all the significant ones they played in, but like he missed Philly twice. He missed the Minnesota game where they won an OT. He missed the Clippers game where they won. He missed the Orlando game where they won. He missed the Golden State game where they lost. He missed Dallas. He missed New Orleans. He missed the Clippers game where they got blown out. Like he's the games he's missed have been like against pretty good teams, which is weird. And impressive that the Celtics have still managed to win in those games. But you can't quantify how impactful Kristaps has been. I know that was a big reason why you wanted him to be an all-star this year, and I wasn't against it. I think Derek White. The other thing I think is important, now that I say it out loud, the Derek White Kristaps Porzingis tandem has been like unstoppable. Like nobody's been able to stop that this year. That pick and roll, that 2-man game, and as you always say, them in the clutch, like they don't miss.
Those two
Like,
guys are
those two are electric.
unbelievable when the game is tight. I mean, I trust them with my life. Porzingis, I don't know what his exact numbers are, but he was like 12 and 19 or something on the year, shooting clutch time baskets. Derek White, I don't know his numbers at all. I never wrote about them.
I'm gonna take a look.
I can tell you, my eyes tell me the man don't miss. He doesn't miss. I mean, he steps up, he takes these big time threes, and they almost always find the bottom of the net. There was a game, I forget who they were playing before the All-Star break. He made a huge three to help the Celtics recover when they were kind of stumbling in the fourth quarter. And then just to pull other examples out, the Pelicans win. He just came out of nowhere in the fourth quarter of that game. That was during the stretch after his appearance on the Redick pod, and everyone was like, this man doesn't know how to shoot anymore. Blame Redick, blah, blah, blah. Snaps his slump, lights the Pels up for 13 in the fourth. We were both there, and it was an incredible night for him. I've just been so impressed with his ability to be ready in those moments, despite not always having to be a focal point. It's a true just luxury that the Celtics have with him, the shapeshifter.
Derek White in the clutch this year, 14 of 25, 56% from the field, 10 of 20, 50% from three, made all 10 free throws, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 0 turnovers in the clutch, 5 blocks. Kristaps Porzingis, 14 of 20, 70%, 4 of 9, 44%, 15 of 15 from the free throw line, 3 offensive rebounds, 8 total rebounds, 2 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals, only 1 turnover. What do you want? What the hell? Like, what are we doing?
That's the
insane.
Type of stuff. And listen, it is easier for these guys because they're not Tatum or Brown, and they're not having to, one, either try and create their own shot, or two, be the focal point of the defense at these two parts of the game. But still, you still have to have the focus, the confidence to take those shots and make them with the spotlight on. The fact that they have been that reliable makes you feel that much better heading into the playoffs, a time of year where clutch play can't be overstated. Like, you have to be able to win these close games. It can change the tide in a series. If you it's a 2-game swing. If you lose a close game that was easily winnable, it could be backbreaking at times. Just look at Game 4, 2022.
I think Kristaps is the most impactful third guy in the league. This is the perfect place for him. Credit to, what am I saying? Credit to Brad Stevens for eyeing it, capitalizing on an opportunity. Something, I mean, credit us. We talked about it before it even happened. Credit
you were on
Celtics.
it. Yeah. And then I quickly jumped aboard once he was in town. I was like, you know what? This guy's going to rule. Because I started to have to pay attention, look at what he was doing. And nobody knew he was coming off that career year last year. And he's done it again. He's the most efficient season he has had as a pro.
He was on a how about them Celtics thumbnail before the trade was even like an option. Yeah. Look at us. Who would have thought?
We had it first.
That we did. I'm scrolling through to look at the thumbnails. I just saw Danny Green on a Celtics thumbnail. That's electric.
Wendy being like, you're going to get traded, buddy.
Sorry, I'm watching the Brentford game on the side, and Man City almost just put one in the back of the net. Fighting for their lives. It is. It's 0-0.
Big day for me.
Fighting for their lives.
Brentford earned my respect.
Brentford defender just saved a shot on the goal line behind the goalie. I'm like panicking. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Let us know what you think of Kristaps. Shout out JJ Redick. He knows. He sees the vision. Respect. I'm also looking at all these old thumbnails, and it's weird seeing me without like facial hair because I just look naked now because like I'm so used to like seeing myself with this on, and it's like wait. But yeah, appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We appreciate you, and I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening or watching. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with videos like this on the filler days, but the regular days for the full pods are Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. We are here all of those days coming at you with all the content. We also have Talking C's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with Bobby Kravitsky of SI Media. Those are always a blast. Come hang out, if not for the content, for trivia. And then anytime there's a game, we're here before the game, a half hour before, and the next morning, whether it's via pod or an individual game recap, depending on where the game falls. You don't want to miss any of it. Hit the bell, leave a like, say something nice. We're on Spotify and Apple too. You can get the audio pods and game recaps right to your inbox. If you follow us, we would appreciate that. The email is hbtcpod@gmail.com. If you want, you can reach out to us, send us your thoughts, send us what you're thinking about to get through the All-Star break, and we will read it on the next pod. We read them every pod. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook is just the name of the podcast. Our streams are there and on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at JacksMoneNBA. I'd say my friends NBA. That's it for us.